Okay, we're back and we're getting ready to start again. Uh, so, Tony, I would like to know what are the top three issues you would like to tackle if you get elected?
The top three. Well, like I said, administrative rules,
Uh
big
huh.
pet peeve. I want to go through absolutely 100% of the administrative code. I want to get it back to what it should be.
Okay.
It should be telling the government how it's supposed to operate instead of regulating you, me. It's so. I mean, that's really my biggest pet peeve right now is the whole Administrative Practices Act
Okay.
and all the administrative rules. Like I mentioned before, the budget.
Yeah.
I want so badly to get a line item veto for the House and the Senate on the budget because the way it is now, I saw where Boise's wanting to start teaching sex education to kindergartners.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
saw that too.
um, yeah, no. Yeah, they shouldn't even be teaching that to 8-year-olds.
No.
I can see 13, 14-year-old preteens and stuff. So, with that system in the budget, guess what? The whole education budget shot at that point. I mean, I would have to vote no. Common Core. I, I come from a family of engineers, architects. Well, not most, a big chunk of my family and the people that I look up to in my family were
Uh-huh.
professionals. And numbers were big as I was growing up, and 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. I spent a lot of time with my grandfather on my father's side, and he was an engineer. He worked for the Army Corps of Engineers. He designed a majority of the turbines on all the dams in the Pacific Northwest. The man was a numbers guru.
Right.
When we played with Grandpa, we played numbers games. We played math games.
Mm-hmm.
So numbers are something to me that have always had to make sense.
Right.
Uh, I've said for years government needs to operate like business, and everyone goes, well, government can't operate as business. Well, no, government can't operate as business. It's just not feasible. But what I mean when I say that is they need to operate on that aspect of this is what I've got to come in, this is what I've got to spend. You can't do this. It should
Right.
be the other way around.
Right.
And instead, so a good example is in Elmore County, which is where we are right now. Up, here comes
Up
the truck
comes
again.
noise again. That's all right.
It'll be gone quick. A little bit of dust in the background won't hurt.
All right. I
So
think we're
so
good
yeah.
now.
So with numbers needing to make sense for me,
Uh-huh.
I've just I was a contractor. I used to be able to cut a roof. I could do all the math, Pythagorean theorem in my head. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just so natural. Nowadays, I actually have to break out a calculator and think about it. But it's one of those use it or lose it skills. But I have friends who call me all the time because I am good with numbers and go, hey, my kid's in pre-algebra or geometry or something, and I can't figure this out. Can you come over and help explain it to them? Well, I found with my grandfather when he was teaching me numbers at an early age, he would associate it with things that I liked. So it made sense to me, and it clicked. So I've always been decent about teaching, you know, kids how to do things based on that theory. And
Okay.
I sit down and look at some of this Common Core stuff, especially in the math, and I just start scratching my head.
Yeah.
You know,
I know that feeling when I have to help my kid with homework,
yeah.
or used to. I'd be like, I don't even know what this is.
Well, and they say this is supposed to make it easier,
Right.
and it's like, well, wait a minute, 2 + 2 is 4. It's two, two,
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. But they've got this weird graph charts, and it makes no sense. It's a waste of time. It really is. Teach it the way they've taught it for a zillion years, and it worked.
Yeah.
They say, well, it's leaving kids behind. Well, no, what's leaving kids behind is the education system hasn't adapted.
Right.
Its solution for adaptation is, Common Core.
Yeah.
And, it just, you've got to, you got to treat each person or each student as an individual, but at the same time with such large classrooms, it's hard. But it can be done. It really can. I mean, charter schools, private schools, religious schools, they all do it all the time. So, we're what? We're at budget, we're at Common Core, we're at administrative rules, and I mean, education is, It's an important one. I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids in the education system, but our children really are our future.
Yeah, they are.
And it's I probably won't live to see the demise of this country, but if I had kids, my grandkids probably would. It's we're not teaching civics in school anymore. We're not teaching local government. We got social studies, but if you ask the average 20-year-old even right now, what does the Constitution mean to you? Well, that's where the government gave us our rights. Well, the government didn't give us our rights. God gave us our rights.
Right.
Government's purpose is to protect those rights.
Right.
And the Constitution says shall not, shall not, shall not, shall not. It doesn't,
Yeah.
it's saying what the government can't do. It's
Right.
not saying what it can do. So, I mean, I think there's 2 places in the Constitution. Maybe it's just very few things where it says that shall.
That shall be able to do. Yeah.
So,
That's
I
to
would
keep
say,
them in check.
yeah. So, I mean, I've been asked several times if I am elected, what committees do I want to be on? And I said, well, I'd like to really be on education, health and welfare, and local government. And everyone's like, well, those are the real workhorses. There's no glory in those. Well, I'm not doing it for the glory. I'm doing it to get us back to where we need to be. I want to be in there, I want to be in the trenches. I don't like having clean hands. I like
Right.
having my hands dirty.
Get 'em
So get them dirty, get in there and fight. I'll treat the legislature no different than I would, going out and fixing a tractor. Just get in and get as dirty as you need to be. It's not about who you're pleasing. It's who who you're protecting.
Right.
Lobby. I despise lobby. I mean, it's a necessity. I understand.
Right.
Every business needs a lobby and someone to look out for their interests. But when are we going to start pinning placards on legislatures like NASCAR has on their uniforms?
I'm supported by Exxon.
Yeah, because it's really anymore. It's not about the people. It's about who's got the biggest checkbook and can
Right.
buy a campaign. So. And it's funny because everyone goes, well, they can't do that in Idaho because the way our sunshine laws are written. Well, there's a lot of ways around those sunshine laws.
Yeah.
They're pretty vague. I mean, it's like you got to report everything, but well, if you didn't actually discuss politics, it doesn't count.